People say every marriage has secrets, but Chioma never knew hers would come with a ringtone. This is the story of Chioma, a woman whose marriage was built on lies. It was a quiet Saturday morning in Lekki, the kind of morning that smells like fresh rain and peace. Chioma was cleaning the bedroom, humming one of those old gospel songs her mother used to sing. For the first time in months, she felt calm. Her husband, Obinna, had been distant lately. Business trips, late nights, phone calls that ended the moment she walked into the room. But she told herself, no marriage is perfect. She swept under the bed. Talking softly to herself, she said, Obinna and his shoes again, always hiding one leg somewhere. Then the broom hit something hard. She bent down, reached under. Her fingers touched something cold, small and dusty. She pulled it out. It was an old Nokia phone, the kind that still has a flashlight on top. Not the kind you expect your husband to keep in 2025. Chioma stared at it. The screen was cracked, battery was weak, but it still came on. And there, sitting alone in the contact list, was one name, Dora. She frowned. Who was Dora? And why the heart emoji? Her chest tightened. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe a friend, a niece, a customer. But why did he hide the phone? Curiosity whispered in her ears, called the number. So she did. The line rang once, twice, and then a small voice answered. Mommy, is that you? Chioma was shocked. The room suddenly felt colder. She stammered, Who is this? The little voice giggled. Mommy, Daddy said you went to heaven. Are you coming home now? Chioma's hands began to shake. Her throat went dry. What did you say? She whispered, but the line had gone dead. She dropped the phone like it had burned her hand. Her heart was beating like a drum. She sat there, staring at the floor, asking herself questions that had no answers. Who was that child, and why did she call her mommy? That night, when Obinna came home, Chioma was waiting. Obinna, she said quietly, who is Dora? Obinna was lost for words. Who? She lifted the phone. This, I found it under the bed. Who is she? He laughed, too quickly. Ah, Chioma, you have started again. It's just an old phone from work. Maybe someone left it here years ago. She wasn't convinced. The laugh didn't sound right. Who is Dora? She repeated. He sighed, walked away, and said, You think I have time for this, right? Forget that nonsense, I beg. He left her standing there, heart pounding, her mind spinning. 2 days later, the phone rang again. It was evening. Chioma was in the kitchen cooking egusi soup when the ringtone echoed. That same haunting old Nokia tune. She picked it up. Hello? Mommy, the little voice said again. I miss you. Chioma nearly dropped the phone, her hands shaking as she asked, Who is this? Where are you? The child said softly, Daddy said you shouldn't call. He said if you find out, everything will spoil again. Then the line cut off. Chioma stood there, frozen, spoon slipping from her hand. The smell of burning soup filled the air, but she didn't move. That night, she waited for her husband to return. When he came in, she was sitting in the living room, the phone in her hand. Obinna, she said calmly, you need to tell me the truth. I spoke to Dora again. He frowned. Chioma, I'm tired. I don't know what you are talking about. You don't know, she snapped. A child called me mommy and said you came to see her. He snatched the phone from her hand, switched it off and threw it into a drawer. End of story, he shouted. Stop letting your imagination control you. Then he walked away. But that night, Chioma had no rest. She just stared at him. This man she shared a bed with. She wondered what else he was hiding. A week later, Chioma decided to follow him. Every Wednesday night, Obinna claimed he was going for business meetings. That evening, she told a cab driver to follow his car quietly. He drove far, past Aja, into a quiet estate. Then he stopped in front of a small blue bungalow. From the window of the cab, Chioma watched him walk to the door. A young woman opened, smiling like someone who had been expecting to see him. Then a little girl ran out, barefoot, laughing, and jumped straight into Obinna's arms. Chioma's heart stopped for a moment. The child looked exactly like her. Her own childhood picture come to life. Same dimple, same round face, same tiny scar near the eyebrow. She watched as Obinna lifted the child and kissed her forehead before going inside. Chioma's eyes filled with tears. She wanted to scream, to run into that house, but she just sat there, frozen, as the cab's engine hummed quietly. "Take me home," she finally whispered. That night, she said nothing. No fight, no tears, no accusations, just silence. But something inside her died that night. She cooked, served him food, and watched him eat like nothing had happened, like he hadn't just broken her heart into 1,000 pieces. The next morning, she opened her wardrobe, and there it was, looking at her, that same old phone, sitting neatly inside one of her wrappers. Her hands trembled. She hadn't touched it since he threw it away. Slowly, she picked it up. The screen blinked on, and immediately it rang. "Mommy," the little voice said again, whispering softly. "Daddy said you shouldn't remember. He said if you do, he will be in trouble." Chioma whispered, "Remember what?" The line cracked. Then she heard something strange, a woman's voice singing a lullaby. Her mother's lullaby. She dropped the phone and fell to her knees, shaking. Something wasn't right. This was deeper than cheating. This was a secret that smelled of blood. A few days later, she went back to that blue house. This time, she knocked on the door herself. A beautiful young woman opened, smiling politely. "Yes, can I help you?" "My name is Chioma," she said quietly. "I'm looking for Obinna." The woman's smile widened. "Oh, you must be his cousin. He told me his family doesn't visit." Chioma's stomach twisted. "Cousin," she repeated. Before the woman could respond, a small voice called out, "Mommy, who is at the door?" Dora ran out, laughing, holding a doll. When she saw Chioma, she stopped. The air went still. They stared at each other, woman and child, like two mirrors meeting for the first time. Chioma whispered, "Dora." The little girl smiled. "Yes, ma." Her heart broke. She turned to the woman. "You are her mother?" The woman nodded. "Yes. Why?" Chioma's lips trembled. "How long have you known Obinna?" The woman hesitated. "Almost 8 years." Chioma's eyes widened. 8? She swallowed hard. "And you didn't know he is married?" The woman was speechless. "What did you say?" "He is my husband." The woman went pale. "That's not true. He told me his wife died in a car accident years ago." Chioma stared at her. "He told you I'm dead?" The woman nodded slowly. And that was it. That was the moment Chioma realized the whole truth. Her husband had built another life, another home with her still alive. He told another woman she was dead. He told a child her mother was gone. He buried her in lies while she was still breathing. Just then, Obinna's car pulled into the compound. He froze when he saw them, both women, standing there, the child between them. "Chioma," he whispered. Her voice shook. "You told her I'm dead?" He tried to speak, but words failed him. You told the child her mother went to heaven," she screamed. "You buried me while I was still alive." She slapped him hard across the face. "Whose child is she?" she cried. "Tell me." Obinna looked at the ground, tears in his eyes. She's yours." Chioma blinked. "What?" He nodded slowly. "Chioma, you remember the accident 6 years ago? The one where the doctor said you lost the baby?" "Yes," she whispered. "I lost my baby." Obinna nodded. "No, you didn't lose one child. You had twins. The doctor told me one died, but she didn't. She was weak, premature. I didn't tell you because you were already broken. I thought she wouldn't survive. When she lived, I couldn't face you. I told myself I was protecting you." Chioma's body trembled. Tears streamed down her eyes. "So, you lied to me. You let me bury a child who was still breathing." He fell to his knees. "I made a mistake, Chioma. I thought I was doing the right thing. I visited her, cared for her, and along the way, I fell for the nurse who was raising her." Her voice cracked. "You fell for her?" "I didn't plan it," Obinna cried. It just happened." The woman behind him broke down in tears. "I didn't know," she whispered. "I thought she was mine." Chioma knelt down beside the child, touching her face. "Dora," she said softly, "I'm your real mother." The little girl's eyes widened. "Mommy." Chioma smiled through tears. "Yes, my love." The woman sobbed quietly, clutching her heart. Obinna reached out again. "Chioma, please, let's fix this. I'll tell the world the truth." She turned to him, face pale with rage and pain. "Fix this," she whispered. "You can't fix what's already buried." Her breathing grew heavy. Her chest tightened. "Chioma!" the woman shouted. "Are you okay?" Chioma's eyes rolled back. She gasped once, then collapsed. Obinna screamed, shaking her body. "Chioma! Chioma! Wake up!" But she didn't move. Her heart had stopped. 3 weeks later, they buried her under the mango tree in her hometown. The sky wept with rain. The little girl placed flowers on the grave and whispered softly, "Goodbye, mommy." The woman beside her held her close. Obinna didn't attend the funeral. He was in police custody, charged with fraud and falsified medical records. That night, when the mourners left, the wind blew gently through the graveyard. And somewhere in the distance, an old Nokia phone began to ring, faint, soft and distant. When Dora's mother picked it up, there was no voice on the line, only a faint sound of a woman humming a lullaby, the same one Chioma used to sing. Then the phone went silent forever. Hey fam, this is African Folktales by Vivy. I hope you enjoyed the story. Please do well to like and share with your dear ones. Don't forget to subscribe also. See you in my next story. Bye.